somehow completely missed the intro then. That was bizarre. Welcome to episode 240 of the Weekly Tech Round with me, Jay.
And me, Karl. You've done a me.
I know,
I always lose it.
I was just looking at the clock and all of a sudden it's gone. I'm like, whoa, what happened there?
Is he going to speak?
It's like, so yeah. Anyway, episode 240. I don't know. Look, this week has gone nuts. I don't know about you, but I don't know whether there's some kind of time vortex or what, but I just seem to be losing all track of time and space.
Oh, I keep thinking we're a day ahead of where we are. Maybe that's just because of the sheer amount of work I've done this week.
Or is that wishful thinking that you want it to be Saturday?
Oh, no, because Saturday will bring no rest. It'll be full of garden stuff I need to carry on doing. Hard labour. I was not built for hard labour. I don't like gardening.
You're not
I've got stuff to be done.
You're not a man of manual labour. I know that.
No, I'm not. But my physique does not speak about gardening.
Was it built for luxury, not speed? Or was that the one or something else?
Maybe, yeah, sure.
Something along the lines. Well, we've got a roundup for you this week. So, hot off the heels of the Apple event last week, there are a few reviews coming out. I don't know if I think we'll have a roundup on this probably on next week's show because given that they're still coming out. But it seems early doors that MacBook Neo is a pretty competent little beast.
It seems like it's the star of the show, and it's been getting positive, very positive. But especially bang for buck.
Yeah,
one guy, I'm sure you sent me a link about where he was opening all his tabs and stuff, then chucked into, was it Final Cut Pro, and did a bit of 4K editing, a bit of scrubbing, and it was all flying through. Yeah, I mean, yes.
I have to say, I'm very impressed. I've seen other ones just saying that Parallels, the virtualization company, have said they've come out and they've managed to get a Windows VM to run reasonably well on a MacBook Neo. Obviously, there's only 8 gig of RAM, and it's using 4, so there's a bit. But if you needed to spin up a Windows app really quickly, or you're running it, ad hoc, again, it's another way to do it. So it just seems to be like this is actually a better machine than you or I probably gave it initially credit for. Don't you agree?
Definitely. 100%. I'm still not sure it's the right one for my son who's going to college. He's doing computer science. He might need to actually run some VMs. I think I still end up getting him a second-hand M3 Air or something like that, just because of the RAM constraints.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
I mean, the form factor and the screen and the CPU and everything else seems fine, especially for the money, but that lack of RAM is still going to be killer for certain tasks. For most people who are just email, web, YouTube, whatever, perfect. And I think the majority of students as well. I think someone's going to go and do computer science might need a bit more growth.
Apparently, though, so I don't know if you saw some of the specs, though. So they're saying that in single core benchmarking, right?
Yeah.
It is 47%.
Beat the M1, did it?
It's 47% faster than an M1.
Okay.
34% faster than a base M2.
Okay.
10% faster than a base M3. These are all MacBook Airs, I should say, by the way.
Yeah.
But then it's 6% slower than a base M4. That one shocked me.
Wow.
13% slower than the base M5. Okay,
multi-core though, is this where it drops? So
so multi-core was you're right. So multi-core, unfortunately, it was only 4% faster than the base M1, and then really it got downhill for that. 10% slower than the M2, 28% slower than the M3, 41% slower than the M4, and nearly 50% slower than the M5. So let's be honest, that isn't a shocker.
Just where we think phones are very much aimed at single core, aren't they? They do multi-core for background, but generally you're only in one app at once.
And the battery size is 36.5 watt hours.
Yeah, rather than I wish they'd stuck the 50 watt hour one from the Air in it, because it has the space. Because that would have given you a day and a half, 2 days of battery life.
I don't know if there's some other stuff I noticed as well. Was that apparently it doesn't have a force trackpad. It's actually a physical trackpad.
I mentioned that when we talked about it. It is a physical, old school mechanical trackpad, and there's no backlighting on the keyboard either, is there? There are places where they've taken a cut.
Yeah, I must have missed that about the trackpad. I thought I spotted that, but clearly I was wrong. But I was I was quite surprised by it. One of the reviewers said that they had 25 tabs open in Safari, as well as I quote music, messages, Ulysses, don't know what that is, notes, things, mime stream, and that other odd. And it's saying it's not struggling.
A Safari. I'll put Chrome on that; it'll bring it to its knees.
Chrome and 3 tabs and crippled it. But
I think this is very much you use the built-in tools. Do not put Chrome or even Firefox on there because it will destroy it.
But I have to say, I take my hat off to it. I'm more impressed than I probably should be about it. And I'm curious when I go to when I next go to an Apple store, which for me will probably be the US one, and I'm gonna have a look at it. I'm gonna have a play with
Are
one. I
you
think it's
keeping enough space in your bag just in case?
I yeah, but the problem is like you say, right? If it had 16 gig of RAM, I would have bought one.
Or it'd been a 12-inch smaller device.
Oh yeah, if it'd been 12-inch,
Lighter. If it's slightly
16
smaller, massively lighter, because it's still as heavy as an Air, isn't it?
yeah,
But
crazily
you
heavy,
can't use it
yeah.
as a replacement a lightweight travel device because it's not that lightweight.
No, not at all. That's the one thing. But I'm looking forward to having a play with it.
Oh,
Like you
definitely.
say, I don't think it's going to be something I'm going to be snaffling in the bag and bringing home from the US. I just don't think it's got
I'm
enough
sure you'll
to.
send me photos.
I'm sure I will, and then they'll be like, "What is that in the background of your hotel room?" Nothing. I don't know what you're on about.
There's a bright yellow thing.
Yeah. All right then. Well, what's the first story this week? Kick off. Let's talk about consoles
Steam
this week and
machines.
gaming. Yes.
There's a lot of console talk, actually.
So the Steam Machine then. So as announced last year,
November, wasn't it? At their event.
November,
Yep.
Valve teased us with their new Steam machines, not to be confused with the Steam machines of old, which were the Bender specific
Third-party
ones.
designed ones, weren't they? The old ones.
That's right.
Your Dell and all that kind of stuff.
Alongside the Steam Frame VR headset, Steam controller redesigns as well. So we were kind of hoping this was going to come out this year, which it was. But then we've hit this.
They kind of told us, didn't they? They told us what, early 2026.
Yeah, well, yeah, they didn't, but they didn't kind of. Yeah, but nobody put a pin in their desk and said that's the date.
Price.
Well, no, that's a good point. They didn't. And then, of course, at the start of this year, we started to get early indications that there's a bit of a supply chain constraint going on, isn't there? With basic
the
components.
Rampocalypse, I heard someone calling it.
Oh, what a spot on! Which I think. I know we've had other supply chain issues. We had the COVID supply chain issues. We had, the cloud bubble supply chain issues. I think this is different, though, isn't it? I think this is far greater because when we had COVID, there wasn't the difference. Was that there wasn't a capacity because the production lines were slowed down, weren't they? They were closed.
Yeah.
Here, the capacity is being bought up, either the existing stock or in advance, and I think that is the difference here. And this is impacting everything, including the upcoming release of the Valve Steam Machine. Then
this is the irony I find with it. So they've bought up all the RAM to put in data centers that haven't been built, in servers that haven't been built, etc., so that they can serve us content that we now can't see because we can't buy a laptop to view it with.
Exactly.
Or can't afford to. So where is this going? But anyway, sorry. Yes, Steam Machine though. So yeah, was it fair? Yeah. Where were we? So yes, early 2026, we were meant to have a potential release and or certainly pricing and a schedule, weren't we? And then quietly, Valve kind of updated everything to say that we hope to ship this in the first half of 2026, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then as the other day in their year in review 2025 recap, it then changed to we hope to ship in 2026. Not first half, not early, but 2026. Yeah, that's not looking good. I mean, Valve were pretty quick to respond and clarify, but I don't think the clarifying really helped. So they said that nothing has changed on their end. The post has been updated. We'll be shipping all 3 products this year, which that's better phrasing, but it's the same message.
I still very doubtful. Rightly or wrongly, I am doubtful that this is going to come out today. I mean, today. I mean, this year. I mean, I think today would be good. The reality is, I think until Valve can be confident that they can release this with access to a supply chain and also at a price point, that is not going to cripple most buyers. I think,
or fluctuate wildly.
Yeah, because how can you can't release a new product and the pricing's all over the shop, can you?
No, you can't. I mean, and Valve already they've insisted they will not be subsidizing this like a console.
No,
this is comparable to a PC with similar specs. Okay, it's positioned closest to entry level of the PC gaming space, but it's still going to be, I reckon, north of 1,000 now, easily.
Yeah, you're not going to get a lot of change out of that, are you?
No. I mean, yeah. Will it be dead in the water by the time it comes out because of the price?
I don't know. I mean, the problem is
I
here is
want it
that
to succeed. I really do.
I do because this is a great idea, and it's kind of a gateway for gaming, PC style gaming for those that really not done it before. And
Yeah, yeah.
I just feel that you're right. It's almost it's not Valve's problem, but it's almost like you say, come out at the worst possible time, isn't it?
It has. It all sounds so great in November. And okay, yes, we were seeing a bit of an uprise in pricing because of AI, but we didn't really know it was going to get this insane.
No, not at all. Not at
I
all.
mean,
And now, we're seeing, all of
yeah,
these things impacting it. And it's just, it's a perfect storm of problems, isn't it, realistically?
it is, and it's not going to be solved this year. Some of the
No,
reports
it's
have
not.
said is that 2026 the shortage is not going to ease up. Probably not
No.
until mid 2027, if that.
And that's at the earliest, personally, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Which is probably why Microsoft are aiming for like 2028 with their one.
Which leads
So
us
kind of
nicely probably into the next
it
story, I
does
guess.
kind of in the next story, yeah. So it has been a busy week for Microsoft. There was the Game Developer Conference in San Francisco, and there were some pretty big Xbox announcements. Obviously, the headline one was around Project Helix, which we talked about last week, didn't we? Is it Asha Sharma, the Xbox's new CEO? She put on X that about Project Helix, and she did a little bit slip about it. So
Yeah.
there was a spot at the Xbox show called "Building the Future of Xbox," and this was done by the VP of Next Generation, Jason Reynolds. So he was giving some more concrete information about what this new Xbox or Project Helix will look like. So we already knew it was going to be AMD Silicon, but this is built on RDNA 5, obviously made by TSMC, like everything else is. It's being co-designed alongside the next version of next generation of DirectX, because I've not seen a DirectX version change in forever.
No, what was that?
DirectX
Do you remember,
12 was probably about 10 years old by now.
do
We
you-
used to get them pretty thick,
I was
fast,
just going
didn't
to
we?
say, do you remember that was always like one of those things that often as you changed your NVIDIA drivers, you did DX update, didn't you? And
Exactly.
oh, God, yeah.
But it's not been a while, so there will be a new version, a new generation coming in line with the new console. Apparently, it's going to have a built-in NPU for neural rendering. Microsoft were calling out ML upscaling, or basically AMD's new FSR Diamond. It's called. Features that multi-frame generation kind of
Yeah.
technology and neural texture compression. Basically, it's going to be an order of magnitude leap in ray tracing performance. Basically, they've been working on this for ages, apparently, the DirectX team. So, along with AMD and NVIDIA. But they were just saying, basically, more and more of this, it's a PC. Developers at the show were explicitly told to build for Xbox on PC.
What does that tell you? I mean, that's
It's,
everything you need to know,
yeah,
isn't it, basically?
exactly. Basically, most of their position this as a premium standardized gaming PC architecture for the living room. So I suppose the best of both worlds, the power of PC, hopefully, if it's decently spec'd, but a bit more standardized so they can get more optimization out of it. But
But it,
if you're
like,
building for PC, it should just work everywhere now. Is the
yeah,
kind of the
but
message.
it is, and this is like exactly the point we're saying there. This is like you're saying. This is the same way as the Valve are doing, isn't it? That there's a blurring now, absolute blurring between what is console and what is PC, isn't it?
Although this will
And
have the advantage, as it's Windows PC, you will be able to play your Steam games, your Epic, your GOG library games, because it's Windows under the hood.
that
And
well,
we've
yes,
already
that
seen
is
that,
true.
haven't we, with the old Xbox Windows app update, where it brings all your libraries together under one GUI.
Yeah, that is something we'll talk about that in just a minute, won't we?
Yeah, we will. Yeah,
About that,
but
but yeah.
we are still looking. They basically said they're planning to ship alpha versions of the hardware to developers beginning in
Ooh.
2027. So realistically, I mean, at a push, we might get Christmas 2027, but I suspect this is 2028 before we get a new Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, Series X? When was that? That was 2019. No, was it 2019?
18 or 19, did it? I'm pretty sure I got delivered to the office when I was working at. Yeah, I'm sure it was.
I got to look it up now because
2018.
I know
I
we got
thought.
ours at the same turn, didn't we? No,
Yeah. Oh
2020.
no.
We got 2020. We got 2020. So we've had it 6 years.
Okay. Okay.
Have we really had them 6 years? My
We
gosh.
have. Yeah, yeah, apparently so then. Wow. But yeah, so a couple more years yet before you get a new one, if you get a new one. I suspect I probably won't if it's just a PC.
Do you know what? I'm thinking the same.
My
I
kids, sure. But me, do I need to go and spend probably, this premium PC tier? Where's this going to sit? Is this going to sit? It's going to be more expensive than the Series X. Microsoft
yeah,
may subsidize this, but I reckon this is still a £600, £700 plus
device.
machine.
Yeah. And do you know what? As much as I love the idea of console gaming and living room, I can't see my TV very well unless I sit 3 inches from it. And actually, this day and age, and maybe it's the problem with getting old. This day and age, I don't spend enough time on my own in the living room.
No, that's the problem I have. I have the Series X plugged up there. I can't remember the last time I played it.
No,
The
no.
kids, all the time.
Yeah, same.
Me?
Yeah, exactly.
No. So technically, it's really I bought a Series X for the kids. Although when GTA 6 comes out, if that doesn't release at the same time as PC and it's Xbox first, that'll be moving to the office.
Yeah, I was just going to say
because I can't play it in the living room with the kids there anyway.
No, and I'm not staying up till 10 o'clock every night to play 2 hours of GTA.
That'll be moving to the office. Sorry, kids.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, absolutely. But I think this is a good point. I don't think the Series X, perhaps for us personally speaking, perhaps was the last console, and
it was. I mean,
the change is coming.
Exactly. What was I going to say?
But we've already got the Xbox. Look, you've got Windows 11. I've got Windows 11.
Yeah,
we've pretty much got what is the new experience anyway. Surely, haven't we?
I have. That was the other not bombshell. Really, we all knew it was coming. But the other announcement at the GDC keynote, there's that Xbox mode is rolling out to all Windows 11 PCs in April. So this, if you remember rightly, is the one that was on the ROG Xbox Ally.
That's the one, yeah,
or whatever. Basically, Microsoft's portable Xbox, as they kind of called it, but it's a PC. So Zeus's version of the Steam Deck. So exclusive there first, but now it's rolling out to everyone in April. This is this kind of dedicated gaming mode, isn't it? It boots into a full screen Xbox style dash with full controller support, so you can use it plugged into your TV. It turns off lots of services that aren't needed to free up RAM and processing, and should just make it a slicker experience gaming wise. But of course, you can just Alt tab or Windows tab straight back into Windows.
It very much reminds me of Big Picture mode on Steam.
Yes. Yep.
That's pretty much the evolution of what it is, isn't it?
It is. And this is getting people ready for the new Xbox PC, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's there and everyone's used to using that interface, when the new Xbox comes out, it'll just be seamless.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is. It's getting everybody into that mode, into that kind of mindset, and off we go. But I mean, Epic. The fact they mentioned the Epic Game Store there gives me. I don't think I've played anything on Epic for a long time.
No. I find it funny though. So they've just recently killed the whole Xbox Anywhere. This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox kind of marketing.
I'm an Xbox. You're an Xbox.
But to basically say everything's now an Xbox anyway.
Yeah,
we've just killed it before it's finally come true. Because your Windows 11 PC is now an Xbox.
Yeah.
So's your laptop. So's the one under your TV. So's your portable. It's all an Xbox now.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's an Xbox. But I can't take my PC out the room. I don't care. It's an Xbox.
It's an Xbox. Yeah, exactly. So everything's an Xbox now.
Yeah. No, it is that way forward. But we knew it was coming. I think Microsoft are keen to try and unify. That's the right word, isn't it? Unify the whole experience, the gaming experience, under one Xbox umbrella. So
yeah, we'll see where it goes.
There we go.
Right, so, more AI time.
Oh gosh, so I mean, I haven't got any money left, so
there's nothing for you to buy anyway.
No, I haven't got any money left. But so Meta then apparently have announced that they have four new custom AI chips which have been built by Broadcom, which are
four
now
generations of chips, isn't it?
Sorry,
it's
four
a roadmap announcement. This is.
It's true. Yes, sorry, from 300 to 500, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the naming's awesome, but these are their what they're calling the MTIA, which is the Meta Training Inference Accelerator Series. There you are. So,
Yeah.
which is starting with the M300 all the way through to the MTIA 500, which bring with them quite an impressive bit of spec. So they're designed for different capabilities and workloads. So the 300
Yep.
end is around sort of training, isn't it? All the way through to the 450 and the 500, which are the Gen AI inference chips, which are chewing on some serious power, I might add, as well. Did you see how much the TDP was on those?
Oh, I did not see the TDP. No, I must have missed.
1700 watts for the top end.
Whoa, that's 5090 territory there.
1700 watts, but large memory bandwidth into the terabytes of memory bandwidth. We're very typology. But this really is around the key message here is that Meta, like other what we call them, because you're not AI scalers. What are we calling these companies?
AI
now,
hyperscalers, something like that.
Yeah. That they wanted to move away from the commercial silicon to define custom-built silicon chips, which meet their needs and requirements, isn't it? And
did you see though the underlying architecture? It's not x86. It's not even ARM. It's RISC-V.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that was quite puzzling.
We've talked about RISC-V in the past,
a long time ago. Yeah, but
a long time ago, yeah.
But nothing really had moved out from that, had it? We hadn't really seen anything to define it.
It sounds like they're kind of moving on. Because, I mean, obviously, the 300 series is really about ranking recommendations. You know, what they show you when you browse Facebook and Instagram. It's using AI for that. But the 400 series is where they start competing. So apparently the 400 series is finished lab testing, heading to data center deployments imminently. And this is the first one that handles generative AI, so generating text, images, video generation, and apparently is competitive with leading commercial products, aka Nvidia's H100 series. It's then that we start to progress apparently wildly beyond Nvidia's stuff. So the 450 is meant to be in 2027, doubles the HBM bandwidth, and gives you much higher than existing leading commercial products. So this is all targeted at Nvidia, isn't it? This is shots across the bow. And then the 500 apparently doubles it again, another 50% on top of the 450's bandwidth. 80% more HBM memory, the big boy one, basically. They do seem very, very good. But Meta isn't moving away from Nvidia or AMD, are they? I mean, they just signed that big deal with AMD. Was it $6 billion? I want to say.
I think it was about that. I was going to say, I want to say six sounds about right. So, yeah, right amount of money.
They're still using Nvidia for training their AI because they are still the kings by a mile. This is about running their AI.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference here, isn't it? This is the workhorse for everyday activities and driving it through. It's interesting to see that they're saying that the rollout of the top end 500 chips, they're planning mass deployment by next year.
Wow, yeah. Late 2027. Yeah, so this is basically a new chip every 6 months.
Broadcom must be laughing because this is a lot
so
of money.
So is TSMC because you know who's making it.
They're making them. Oh gosh, yeah. That's a very good point, isn't it? TSMC always is just money.
God, yeah. Oh man, but look, it's interesting to see some competition. Whether they'll open source it, will they give back? I mean, they're using an open source architecture, RISC-V, aren't they? So are they giving back to the project? I couldn't really work that one out. I hope they are.
This is Meta. I suspect it'll be the bare minimum.
I suspect not, but I'd hope they are.
My money's just been the bare minimum of what they've got to do, personally.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, more AI, and this has got me and you puzzling, did it? And chuckling.
What the hell? Yeah, I just.
Perplexity. They do their AI search, isn't it? Perplexity.
Yeah. So this is AI search. Also kind of like what else is it? AI kind of not just search but research as well.
They've got their own browser now as well, haven't they? But they just wrapped up their developer conference, didn't they?
They've got Comet. The Comet browser is theirs.
That's the one. Yeah, Comet browser. But they have announced the personal computer. Yes, I said that right. They have announced the personal computer.
It's like, I'm sorry, they've announced the what? Sorry?
So this is a bit of plan words. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, they announced Perplexity computer, which was a cloud-based AI agent that kind of orchestrates 20 of the frontier models to complete multi-step tasks autonomously. So the personal computer is all about bringing that locally. It takes all that cloud orchestration stuff and allows you to run this locally on a Mac Mini. Apple must be laughing all the way to the bank. But you need a dedicated Mac Mini for this. So they're specifically calling out the Mac Mini as intended hardware because I suppose it's cheap enough, but good enough.
Powerful enough, exactly.
And low cost, low power. It stays on 24/7. Basically, this is a nightmare. The AI can access your local files, apps, active sessions, Gmail, Slack, GitHub, the works. And work in the background while you do other things or even while you sleep, But this is all about objective-based computing rather than instructions. As their CEO, Aravind Srinivas, he said at the conference, he said the traditional operating system takes instructions and the AI operating system takes objectives. And it works out how to get there without your input, really. This sounds a lot like OpenClaw, doesn't it?
I was just going to say, I'm not overly convinced by this one, but
And if you remember on OpenClaw, that was the AI agent we covered, 2 episodes ago that deleted some of you's email inbox. But Perplexity have been.
Who wasn't that the head of safety research for Meta?
Yes, something like that. It was Meta, I think. But they have been very clear to say it's a response. This is a responsive version of the same idea.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sensitive actions require user approval. Every action is logged. And yes, there is a kill switch.
Oh,
whether the AI chooses to honor the kill switch or ignore it, who knows? Because wasn't some of you going stop, it just carried on?
I'm sorry, I appear to have deleted everything, but you did ask me to stop.
I can't help you there, Dave.
You asked me to stop. I did after I'd finished.
I stopped at the end. I've even written about a summary about what I did. And I've cited my sources. Right. This is not going to be cheap, though, okay? So you can only use this if you're a Perplexity Max subscriber. That's $200 per month. And there's a wait list for that. And then you need, obviously, the cost of a Mac Mini as well. So this is not a cheap investment.
No, it is not a cheap investment at all.
But it might well be. If you're already ponying up $200 a month for an AI subscription to Perplexity, you've probably got multiple other AI subscriptions as well, I imagine. So you're seriously in this and you're probably making some money from it, maybe. So maybe it's not a big investment for you, but for most mere mortals, this is quite a lot.
Yeah. And, you and I have been playing with some AI tools this week, haven't we? We're kind of looking at
yes.
different speed and pricing. And let's be honest, the key cost is churning through those tokens at a rate of knots, isn't it? The more you do.
Yeah.
And this clearly is not going to be sat back being efficient with the numbers, shall we say. This is going to chew through quite a lot of compute as it goes forward.
I'll be honest, I've never been much of a fan of AI, but I have been dabbling with it.
You're getting there.
You're getting there. The new Sonnet 4.6 has been very good. I've had the token issue where I've had to come back in a couple of hours, but it has done some very good work chugging and refactoring through a giant, very complicated Excel spreadsheet. It's made one or two errors, but not much. They weren't unrecoverable because I'm not stupid. I take backups. Not that it got to the state where I needed a backup, but where it just kind of made an assumption that wasn't quite right rather than asking for clarification.
I look, I've taken a punt with the Max plan this week with Anthropic for Claude.
You heard that? He's made of money. He's got the Max plan.
I have not made of money. Auto renewal is turned off.
I hope so.
But I was chewing through on the Pro plan, like you say, hitting that rate limit every 3 hours, whatever it was, isn't it? Having to wait.
Yeah.
And now it's like, what in the name? I've chosen on the Max plan, and I was chewing I didn't get stopped at all yesterday, and I was doing loads of sessions, and I've built 3 projects, not yesterday, but simultaneously I've started a new project, and I've got it running on co-work on 2 machines. I've been running the chat simultaneously on my phone. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get why you pay for the good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As I said just before we went out, though, I'm going to give it the litmus test. This is where every AI has failed before. I'm going to get it to plan a snowboarding holiday for me. And we've been through this before, and you were like, yeah, it can do that. And then you've run through all my requirements and went, nope, it fails epically every time. Because I'm asking to say, we're going to take this many people. we've got a budget of this much. We need at least X number of rooms because no one wants to share a room. And then you go, and you'd come back with like, there are 4 people, we've only got you 2 rooms rather than 4 rooms, or it looked good, and you go click the price, and the price is completely made up. There's no reference to it actually on the website. I could just never get it to actually say, this many people going here within this budget with this kind of accommodation, and it ever pass. So I'm going to give it another go, and I'll let you know how I get on.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I think
I did before we came out. I asked it, "What are your capabilities around planning a holiday? Can you look up and actually get accurate or semi-accurate pricing?" And it's assured me it can. So we will see.
Yeah. Look, the reality is these things move on rapidly. So we know that we know they're moving at a great speed. So things change, but yeah, your mileage may vary, as they say, and of course, they do hallucinate. So I'm curious. I'm going to say I'm curious to know how you get on.
It's always been a massive pain for me all the time. I love going snowboarding. I love the trip, but the work involved in planning it for 4, 5, 6 people. It's not, they're friends, not in the same family. So you've got different schedules, different ideas of budgets, different requirements. It's been an absolute nightmare, and it's taken up lots of time. So anything I could do to make my life easier there would be appreciated.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm curious. Like I say, I'm curious how you get on. But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm loving the extra capacity. I'm going to miss it when it goes. But hopefully, I can get to a point with these projects where I've done the bulk of the work. If you know what I mean. To get there.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. So that's probably a good place for us to swing across to. So a couple of things in the rumor mill this week. Then after last week, all of our rumors came true. This week we've got Apple's HomePad. So you might remember the HomePad is kind of the weird offspring of a HomePod meets an iPad, isn't it? Very similar.
Yeah, take the big HomePod, slap an iPad on top.
That's the one. Yeah, very similar, a bit like to the Amazon Show, isn't it? And those kind of things. And
that's the one.
What was the Google one as well that looked very similar? Had a similar one, isn't it? The Home Hub
Max or something. Home Hub Max or something, wasn't it?
That was it. So this is that rumors now are coming out that suggesting that we may be, not that far away from getting this HomePad at all.
Well, you say not far. I mean, it should have been here the end of last year.
Yeah, but we're now suggesting, now rumors are suggesting that it could maybe this year in the autumn, but possibly 27. There are a few things popping up, aren't they? These rumors have been knocking around for a couple of years. We'll be honest, aren't they?
They have, yeah.
There have been some code elements showing up where there are reference to it, but our favourite leaker, old Mr. Gurman over at Bloomberg, has suggested that actually everything hinges on whether or not she should not be mentioned gets all of our AI upgrades, isn't it? And actually, whether or not that would be the defining thing that makes this a useful tool rather than an iPad bolted to a HomePad.
This has been put again. Apple's AI agent, the companion, she's been pushed back multiple times, hasn't she? And we're not entirely sure whether we're going to get in iOS 26.5, or even it'll be iOS. Maybe it might be to iOS 27. And I think the HomePad really relies on that, and that's why it's been pushed back. So I think WWDC will be the big tell, won't it? The litmus test. Does she turn up there with meaningful improvements? And if so, then I think we might see the HomePad this year. If there's no talk of her, then I don't think we're going to get it.
I am going to say that I place my expectations on this reasonably low.
Yeah, I'm not convinced we're going to see the AI agent any meaningful upgrades at WWDC. I think they've hit some big issues, haven't they?
I think they have. There are rumors that that the internal Siri team isn't. The internal advancements aren't going the way they want. Obviously, that's why we saw the Gemini partnership recently. There was talk, obviously, about bringing in one of the CarPlay updates, wasn't it, about bringing your own or CarPlay allowing you to chat directly to your AI agent of choice, which at this stage probably is more OpenAI. But again, there are rumors that Anthropic are involved here. The ultimate bottom line here is that Apple, as we talked about with the Gemini piece, is that Apple are going to have to go to a third party, I think, to get what they want.
I think so, yeah. So
they're not short cash. It's not that they can't invest in this.
No,
When
exactly.
you look at unless Google have gone all in, but they were in from the start. But if you look at OpenAI, Anthropic, Meta, they're burning serious amounts of cash to do this.
They are. They're not profitable.
No, and Apple is super profitable.
They
and
really like to be profitable.
And have got tons and tons of money that they don't plan to lose.
Exactly. Yeah, look, we'll see. WWDC. It's not that far away now. Is it June usually, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to say that's a long way away, but it's not.
It's only 3 months away. So,
absolutely.
I think that will be the deciding factor. And yeah, I'm sure we'll chat about it more then.
I'm sure. So what else we got then? One more rumor in the room.
More on my next phone, hopefully.
Favorite, yes.
I might need to go see the bank manager. This was more from Mark Gurman at Bloomberg. What was he saying? So he says, first, look, we've got some kind of more confirmations about the hardware. We know it's going to be that 7.7-inch display. It's going to be more like an iPad mini when unfolded, but when shut, a bit more book-like, isn't it? A little more fat, a little less tall. But we did get some more kind of confirmations, on the underlying hardware in it. So it's going to obviously be the A20 Pro chip. It's going to have dual real cameras, so no triple lens like you get on your normal Pros. So a bit more like your non-Pro version. But we should have 12 gig of RAM in there. And storage-wise, we should get either 256, 512, or 1 terabyte. Unfortunately, or oddly, no 2 terabyte option, which I kind of thought you might get.
Yeah, but
we did get some more concrete pricing from a leaker. This wasn't from Gurman. This was something else that came up just before I went on air. And they are saying $1,999 for the 256 gig one, $2,199 for the 512, or $2,399 for the 1 terabyte. Which is kind of aligning where we expected these things to be. We were expecting between $2,000 and $2,500. So kind of bang in there. It's a lot of money.
Cheap. Yeah, we knew
it wasn't going to be cheap. We probably knew that. We're going to say it's the same price in pounds, more or less. I think I will still be getting one. It's whether I get the 512 or opt for the 1 terabyte. I'm kind of thinking if you're already spending that much money, what's a little bit more?
Big one.
Exactly, because if this is going to replace my iPad mini as well, then I'm going to be filling up a lot more like movies and downloads for when I'm traveling and stuff. So I might need the extra storage, I think.
What did you think about the rumors around the fact that iOS 27 will get a redesign for this?
Yeah, so this is a slightly... we wasn't 2 months. We talked about this before, and I've said, look, I want it to be an iPhone when it's shut, but I really want it to be an iPad when it's open. And I think we'll kind of get a hodgepodge of the two, because look, this isn't running iPad OS.
No.
You're not going to get that free-form windowing system that iPad had in the latest iPad OS, are you? But you will get side-by-side apps. But from what Bloomberg is saying, Gurman is saying, that's all you're going to get, just 2 apps running side-by-side, one on each screen, or one covering both screens. But there's not going to be any free app split, no floating windows, stuff like that. So I'd have to play with it or see more on it, I think. Would it stop me? I mean, I don't really use the freeform windows on the Mini. I think the Mini is a bit too small for that. I tend to have apps full screen or at most side by side. But generally full screen, if I'm being honest. So would that detract? Probably not. I think I'd still be up for it. Apple obviously going to revamp all their apps, and if you built apps for the Mini on the iPad, it shouldn't be much, or any of the iPad screen ratios, it shouldn't be much of an effort or a job to adapt to the slightly different screen size stroke ratio of the Fold.
I'm not in the market for this. You know my views on it. I'll probably see one and want it though.
Yeah, when I come to show you mine.
But I'm curious to know, like you say, whether this will really be a meaningful improvement or not.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. So I'm probably in the position that I have an iPad Mini and an iPhone rather than a larger iPad like most people, but I still can't get my head around an iPad being a creative device. It just doesn't work for me that way. It's very much a consumption device for me. So the multi-windows doesn't make much of a difference. More than 2. I don't need 3, 4, or move them all around, that kind of stuff. It's just not the way I work.
And
I'm on my PC now recording this, and I have two windows side by side. on one
And
screen.
it's you
Okay, I have another screen with 3 windows stacked, but they're all very much in the same places.
And they're gonna be standard apps that you're gonna run all the time, aren't they? The ones that are common usage and open. It's not gonna be the same.
My
apps all the
Spotify,
time.
my YouTube, Safari, note-taking apps, Word, Excel, whatever. Nothing fancy, you know what I mean?
No. But look, I'm interested to see it when it comes out. So I'm not necessarily thinking I want to buy one, but I'm definitely interested to see
You're
it.
intrigued. I want to have a play.
Yeah.
Just like the Neo.
Yeah, exactly. That does intrigue me. I am. That's something I want to have a play with and want to see. So we'll go with there. But the Fold, yeah, jury's out for me on that. If they, like I said, if they do the Red Pro, I'm in.
Yeah. I would be gutted not to have that, but I'm pretty made up my mind. I'm going to go and get a Fold.
There we go.
Unless there's anything horrific in the announcement, like it's now £4,000 because of RAM problems. You know what I mean?
Something's definitely you gotta wait. Whoa, that's a deal breaker. We're not doing that now. Everybody, back off.
Exactly.
Right, but that's probably a good place for us to wrap up for today. Then we'll be back next week with episode 241 with all the latest tech news and stories, and of course maybe some new reviews on the Neos and other Apple products that are out there. You can find us on our show notes at techrant.online, of course, wherever you get your podcast from, and on YouTube as well. And we're still on Blue Sky at Weekly Tech Rant, where you can interact with us, and obviously please send us your questions or comments. We're always open to hear those as well. So with that, I've been Jay.
And I've been Karl. Have a good one all.